Hi, my name is Alma. Welcome so much to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some books that I want to kind of prioritize to read this next coming year. A lot of these books I picked up this past year either at a um, thrift store and a lot of them I did pick up at my library sale that they have twice a month in my local library, which is really nice, and or Pango books sometimes as well. But anyway, I picked up these books with the intention of reading them, but I just started collecting all these books, and these are some that I just never got around to reading. So I wanted to like prioritize them in a way, and so I picked out some books that I really want to read, and I filled put their little names in this little jar, and once a month I'm going to um, do my best. I'm going to pick one a month and then do my best to read them. So I'm just going to tell you what they are, just kind of show you. And then in the comments, if you have read any of these books, let me know if they're what you thought, if they're, good reads or not. And this is going to be a quick video. I'm just going to just kind of show the books as we go along, and we'll see. So these are all the books here on my shelf. So I'm going to start with these top ones up here. This first one I picked up on Pango Books, and I've been wanting to read this one because I loved the mini series back that came out years ago. It's called Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, and it's a chunky one. So hopefully, if I do pick it out of the jar, it's on a month where I don't have a lot of big reads. But so there's that one. And then this one is called The Glass Castle by Jeanette Wallace. And this one, my daughter actually said I should read. She said that's a really good one. And then this one is called Pride and Prejudice. So this is one that's a classic. Obviously, a lot of people have read this over the years and say it's really good. I actually watched the movie years ago, but I don't even really remember the story. And I tried to read it this year, and it just got on a lot of TBRs, and I never got around to it. So hopefully this year, and it's not that thick, so I'm going to really try to do that one. Let's see. This one is called The Secret History. I don't know a whole lot about this one. I just heard it was pretty good, so I'm going to try to read it. If any of you have read this one. This one's kind of a chunky one too, but I'm going to try it. And it's by Donna Tartt. This one I've been wanting to read. I picked this up at, I do remember when I got this, it was a while ago, but I got it at Half Price Books, that's right. And I was excited because I wanted to read it. And guess what? I didn't read it this year. But so this is by Robin Hobb, The Assassin's Apprentice. It's supposed to be really good. I've heard good things about it. Okay, moving right along. Oh, this one I really wanted to read this past November, and I just didn't get around to it. I read like The Nightingale, which turned out to be one of my favorite books of the year. This one sounds really good. It's called The Orphan Train. It's a historical fiction book by Christina Baker Klein. So this one's supposed to be really good too. Now this one. This one is actually my son's book, and he didn't gift it to me. He's letting me borrow it, but it's about the Gulag, a true story, and it was on my TBR so many times, and he kept coming and asking me, "Mom, have you read the book yet? Have you read the book yet?" And I didn't. I think I started it. Yeah, you can see I got like this much in. Not that it was a bad book. It's just I wasn't in the mood at the time. Oh, there's my bookmark. See, I wasn't in the mood for it at the time. So hopefully, even if I don't pick it out of the little jar, I really want to try to get this done for him as well. Okay, now we're going to get into the rest of these guys. This first one is another World War II historical fiction. I believe Judy Picoult's The Storyteller. I haven't read any of her books yet, but this one I heard is supposed to be really good. Okay, so this one is the chunkiest book on my shelf. It is called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark. And it is a chunky one. Now, this book, I really don't know a whole lot about it. I remember watching one of Chantel Reads All Day, her videos, and she was talking about it. And then I went to a really big uh, library sale, and they had every book there, pretty much, except for like the antique books and stuff like that. But all the paperbacks and hard copies, hard books, hardback books were all 50 cents. So I got this big guy for 50 cents, and it's brand new, and I haven't read it. So yeah, he's in the jar. Okay, get rid of all the junky ones first, big or the chunky ones. This one is called The Host by Stephanie Meyer. She's the one that wrote the Twilight books. So I heard this one's really good too. Another chunker. We'll see. I love this cover. This one is called Recursion. Recursion by Blake Crouch. Have not read any of his books, but this is supposed to be like a sci-fi book. If any of you all have read that, let me know. Might be. I mean, I like sci-fi stuff, so I think I might like it. Sorry about that. Okay, this one I actually won this in the Goodreads. You know, when Goodreads sends you out a thing and says, "Hey, sign up for this giveaway." Sign up for the giveaways. You can win. I won this in the giveaway. And this one's by Charles Martin, The Last Exchange, his new book. And I really like Charles Martin's writing. This last year I read two of his books. I read I read the book called Unwritten. That was really good. And then the other book I read was called The Mountain Between Us. And that one the book was really good. And then my husband and I watched the movie, and the movie stunk. It was nothing like the book. But so I really like his writing. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Brand new giveaway book that I won. Okay, here's another chunky one. I gotta see all the chunky ones I didn't read this year. Now they're all in the jar. This one's called The Lincoln Highway by Tomar Tolles. It's supposed to be a book about two brothers or friends um, on a train, basically, and like their journey, I think. Anybody read this one? I heard it's good. This one is an exciting one too. Okay, so I remember seeing a lot of people talk about this book on BookTube saying how great it was. And I can't believe I actually found it in the library sale, because usually sci-fi I can never find any ones that I know of anyway. And so this one is called Leviathan Wakes by James Corey, and it's part of a series, but this is the first book. And so I was really jazzed when I picked this up. And it's another chunker. We'll see if I get around to reading this one or if I pick it. Okay, two more chunky ones. This one, I just love the cover. It's called Bridge to Haven by Francine Rivers. And I've only read one of her books. I read her book, her famous one called Redeeming Love. It's up there on my shelf. And I really like that one. But I heard this one is good too. So don't know a whole lot what it's about. But when I bought the book, I recognized her name and I saw the cover. Another 50-cent book. I think all of these are, now that I think about it, 50 cents a dollar. Okay, this one is a historical fiction. It's Lilac Girls by Martha Kelly. I just love this cover. And so I've heard good things about this one as well, a historical fiction book. And I really have a lot of World War II books. That's an upcoming video, by the way. Go over all the World War II books that I picked up. Okay, I think this is the last of the chunkies. Okay. Now here's another book by Omar Tolles. And actually this is the one I really wanted to read from him. I heard a lot about this one. It's called The Gentleman in Moscow, about a Russian man that is living in a hotel, I believe. And I think that's the whole story, but they say it's pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to that one. Oh, they're getting stuck. Okay. So this book is called Unspoken by Angela Hunt. And now Katie over at Paperbacks and Ponytails, she really loved this book. So when I saw it at the library sale, I just had to grab it. And I can't remember what it's about. I'm assuming it's about a little gorilla, but I just remember how much she raved about it. So when I saw it there, I had to pick it up. Now, a lot of you may know this book. It's been making all the news. This is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. It's the first in the series. I have the second book too, but this is the first one. And it sounds really interesting, about a group of older gentlemen, I believe, that kind of try to solve murder mysteries, I think, something like that. But it sounds good. This one I picked up at Pango Books, and it's by Amy Harmon. It's called From Sand and Ash. I read 3 of Amy Harmon's books this year, and I gave them 5 stars each of them. I've heard this one's just as well, so looking forward to reading this book. Okay, here's another a recommendation from Katie at Paperbacks and Ponytails, The Librarian of Boone's Hollow by Kim Vogel Sawyer. She raved about this one as well. So I'm this is a Christian fiction. Sorry, I haven't been saying what they are. This one is a Christian fiction book, and she really enjoyed it. Angela Hunt's was Christian fiction as well. Just 3 more. Okay, is this one is an interesting concept. It's called the first 15 lives of Harry August by Claire North. And this one, as soon as I read what the premise was, I wanted to read it. And right now I can't tell you, remember what it is. I think he lives the same life, different lives over and over again, something like that. It's a fantasy sci-fi kind of thing. And I picked this one up at Pango Books as well. And so it just sounds really, I like sci-fi kind of, or that kind of book about different lives and realities and things. So this sounds really interesting to me. Knock over my jar. This one is another World War II, I believe, historical fiction. This one's called When We Were Young and Brave by Hazel Gaynor. Now, I read one of her books. I think it was one of the first books I read last year in the month of January, because it was part of Chantel Reads All Day reading challenge, because we had to read a book with the A or the in the title, I think. And her book called The Girl Comes Home, or The Girl Comes Home, something like that. But it had to do with a girl that was on the that was on the Titanic, and so it was that kind of story. I really enjoyed her writing. So, and I've heard this one is good too. Again, it's a World War II historical fiction book. And the last one on my shelf is called this. This one's called "All the Light We Cannot See" by Anthony Doerr. It is like one of the number one historical fiction recommendation books that I keep seeing. And I think there's a movie. I don't know if they're making a movie or they already made the movie. Of course, I want to read the book first. Um, and so this is one that I really want to read. It is another World War II historical fiction book. So those are all the books in the little jar, the little jar that I am. Um, like I said, I'm going to be drawing a book out each month to read, and then add it to my TBR. And then like some of the, not that any of them are very thin, but if I get I'll try. If I get one that's one the littler ones, then I might get two out. If you know, and also I can read any of these books during the year if they feel a challenge or work for a prompt or something. I can always do that too. These are just books that I really want to try to get read for the year. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, let me know if you've read any of these books, if there's any books that you did or didn't like. And thank you, and you have a blessed day. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.